Hey everybody out there, I'm showing you these 4 cases right here because those are all of my fold-up travel pianos. So these are all 88 key fold-up travel pianos, and you can see the way how the cases are looked. This one is the smallest from the next size up. That one's a little bit bigger from the next size up. It's a little bit bigger, and from the biggest. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open up all these cases so you can see all of the pianos. And yes, I travel with them, and I will basically tell you about them. Now these are the pianos right here, and of course, as I said, they're all 88 keys, but there's a difference between all of them. As you can see, all of them are in their cases. So let's start with this one. This one over here, this one is a V-top, and with the V-top, it is the smallest one. It does not have a locking mechanism, but it does have a little music rest right here. Another thing that it has, and I don't know if you can actually see it through the light, but it has textured keys right over here. So it's more textured ivories, and the texture feels okay on him. You have 2 speakers, Bluetooth, you have MIDI, and this is all your controls right over here, and an LED screen, and that is the V-top. The next one over here, this one is the see if I can remember, I think this one is the E-Star. Yeah, that's the E-Star right over here. And this one you'll find, actually this one and this one you'll basically find in many different brand names. So this one is a little bit more advanced. It has a locking mechanism, so when you put the keyboard together, it actually locks, and you don't have to have any flexibility on it. With this one, you actually have flexibility on it. Now this one does not have any texture keys, but they both have kind of the same specs: 128 sounds, 128 rhythms. They are both 64-note polyphony. So this is 64-note polyphony, and this is 64-note polyphony. So this does not have the texture keys, but this one works really well with MIDI, and both of these on an airplane can fit right underneath your seat. So if you have the whole row to yourself, then you can spread out and have 88 keys, which I did that before. Well, basically with this one. This one at the airport, I'm just here playing at the terminal. Okay, so next one over here, this is the Cosane, and this has textured ebony and ivory keys. So I don't know if you can see it. I think this only has like around 16, I might be wrong, probably 32 voices. A lot more better piano sound. The speakers are located in the back, and it has a music rest. By the way, I forgot to tell you, this has a music rest too. All of these are touch sensitive, and this one has become one of my favorite ones. And I'm going to tell you the good and bad about all of them, but this one has become definitely one of my favorite ones because of the quality of it. It's really, really good. Okay, this is my newest one. This is the BA Sight, and this is 88 keys. And only thing about why this one is kind of bigger and special, see if I can go on the other side, and let me show you the sides of the keys right here on that one. This one is a little bit bigger, but these are all spring rated right here. They're spring weighted. This one right here, and I hope you can see it, this is hammer weighted. And let me press another key so you can actually see there's a hammer inside of it going up, and it's all hammer triggered. And so I hooked this up with MIDI, and it works perfectly. So this is equivalent to like a Yamaha P45 or a Casio Privia or a Williams a Williams Allegro 3, sorry, Allegro 4. More like a Lego 3, because a Lego 4 is a little bit bigger. So that's all 4 of these travel pianos right here. And they're all folded up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out and let you look at them basically folded, but without their cases. Okay, here is another look at them without the case, so you can see on both sides how they look folded. So starting from the littlest one, very, very thin, very even body. From the second, you know, or I should say the second one right here, it's kind of the same. Very, it's not thin, it's a little bit fatter, but very even body. From the third one, it has that curve right here, which is pretty cool. Makes the piano look better. But if you have it folded, it's basically slanted. And this one kind of has an even body, but this is the biggest one. This one, it's folded, it's portable, but it's like carrying a full weighted keyboard right here, which it is. On the flip side, here's where they connect. As I said, this doesn't have a connection on here. So when you fold it, you're going to have to basically use a good stand or a table for it because it doesn't have a connection. The next one over here, it does have a connection. So when you fold it, this acts like a little hook, which is like a banana clip. And over here, that's your hook area. So it stays in one place. You don't have to have a table. You can just use a regular stand. Same thing with this one. This one, it doesn't have a front connection, but it has a much better hook mechanism right here and a release mechanism. These two both have release mechanisms. And our biggest one, our professional model, it has 2. So one is right here, and this hooks into this side of the piano, and one is stationary, which is a metal. And I was worried about transporting that on the plane and they throwing my suitcase. It fit in my suitcase, but the thing about it is that I didn't want that bent. So I have to figure out a new way of transporting that. But you can see the flip side of things, which is pretty cool. Okay, here's the back of the pianos. This one, the speakers are basically on both sides of the cheeks. And they're very small speakers, so not that much volume. This one has a much bigger volume. The cabinet, I opened up this cabinet and it's much better. And the speakers are in the back. So that's right there. And also what I forgot to tell you about on this one is that the controls are on the side. So say for instance, if you wanted your sustain, your MP3, your headphones, USB, and your power right there. On the second one, the power is on the top, so I end up turning this on when I'm packing it in the airplane, and sometimes I want to put it underneath my seat and it's a pain in the butt. But over here are your back controls, and it's kind of almost the same. Sustain, MP3. Well, now MP3 is your auxiliary, so you can put stuff in there. Your microphone. This has your headphones and your USB, so they're both USB powered. By the way, these two and the next one I'm going to show you, they have their own internal batteries. So this one over here, the speakers are much bigger, and I took this at the airport with me, and I could still put it underneath my seat or put it over above. But one time I had to check this in, and that was kind of scary because I didn't want this to be damaged. But see the speakers on this one? This one is actually facing the audience, not facing you. So in front of you, it kind of feels muffled, but in the back, it sounds really, really good. So over here, you have the on and off switch, and this has its own internal battery. You have the DC in, so I have a DC plug for that. You have the USB MIDI, which is really neat. That's more upgraded, so you can just use a regular USB cable. You have your MP3, mic, headphones, and you have your single pedal, and also you have your triple pedal. So that may look like a MIDI cable, but that's for your triple pedal. And I do have a triple pedal that has that on there from another company. Okay, and your professional model, the power is on the top. So the power's like right around there. And the speakers, where are the speakers? Okay, so let me show you this. When I flip this over, speakers are on the bottom. So they're aiming to the floor. But this has a better response body. So it's a louder unit. So over here, let's start from over here. You have, these are actually both line outs, stereo line outs. I just found out about that. One says line out and the other one says basically in, but that's wrong. So you got, I don't know, that's probably a company defect. Found out that this one is for headphones and this is for line out for both of them. This right over here, this is your DCN. Right over here, this is your sustain pedal, your USB, and the same thing, you can use a triple pedal unit for right here. So let's flip them, and actually, let's set them up upright so you can see how tall they are. I thought you would appreciate this. This is the way how they usually set them up for display to get you to buy the products. You know, buy one of the pianos. So these three I got on Amazon, and that one I got at NAMM. So this one right here, as you can see, it's set up. It's the most thinnest one. And what I forgot to tell you about the second one is that that comes with a lighted keyboard. So if I press this, it's lighted, which is pretty cool. This one's not lighted, but it has more of a professional sound. And that one has a really good professional sound. So these two are like the best right over here. But I just wanted you to see it up like this in V shape, basically. Yeah, upside down V shape. In the back, that's how it looks. And I have gigged out with these, everybody. Sometimes I had no other choice to take a keyboard, and I can't pick one from my closet, and I have to think real fast, and I just gig out with one of these. Okay, so let's see the full length of them. Okay, so now it is all spread out, full 88 key. You won't believe it. I measured each and every one of those keyboards from key to key. And also I measured it with the piano, which is covered up right here. And it's a full length of the piano, which is really neat. So the first one, if you don't play it, it'll fall asleep. And then you have to wake it up. But it does have that flex in the middle right here, as you can see. So when you play, you have to have the right stand or have something to grip it right over here, which is the music stand. And just like that, you have to wake it up. Has a good action for semi-weighted and touch sensitive. Really good. (128 sounds, 128 rhythms. This is more like the Roland Sound Canvas sound. And the same one's kind of similar. And there's a lighted. And there's a way you could turn off the light, actually. I think if you hold down metronome, and there you go, LEDs are off. And it's a more bigger sound. This one is more reliable. The reason of that is that I hooked this up to my iPad and it glitched a couple times. So this is good as it is. You know, if you just want something portable and a piano sound is good. Piano sound is still good, but kind of outdated. This one is mostly as it is. I have to test it out with the iPad again just to see how it's going to be. And there's the speakers right here, 1 and 2. And this one is very, very good with the iPad. I hooked it up. It's really, really good. Doesn't glitch at all. But it does glitch if you do have the speakers on at the same time. The the speakers on at the same time as the iPad is hooked in for some reason. So you have to turn the volume down and just use the iPad as an external output, or basically your headphones. So it does glitch with that, and that's one thing I don't like about that. But as in playing, and I'm just using headphones or an external speaker, it's fine. So I tried it out, and these two, you have to use the right USB cable, because without the right USB cable, it will glitch with your, iOS device or Android. This one over here is the most reliable when it comes to MIDI. It's really, really, really good, and it sounds good. It's hard for me to reach it over there, but it sounds really, really good. And this has the textured ebony and ivory, and it has a better sampled sound of a piano, which is really neat. So if I were to play that piano, like the bass notes in the back, so you can hear it up front, and then face the camera back, just like this. It's totally different, and I really like this one. Now, the only thing that I do not like about it is that you cannot do triple action strikes on it, because it mutes itself for some reason. Yeah, I mean, you could do it if you like this, but sometimes it's, if you do, it won't do it that much. Also with the weighted on there, it's hard for me to do it like that, but you can't do actual triple action strikes on it. The other thing that I found that's a flaw in the MIDI is that when you're on the natural notes and you press it as hard, it rings out really good. If you're on the sharps and flats and it press it as hard, it doesn't go full volume than the naturals. These other two, they do. Okay, last but not least, this is the BA site, and this has the weighted action. Now, I gotta tell you, the speakers are on the bottom, so the blanket might be muting it, but which is really good. Now, it's hard for me to reach all those keys over there, but I'm gonna try. But it's a really good keyboard. It's a really, really good keyboard. Speakers are on the bottom. I tested out with MIDI. Now, one thing that I have to say is that the middle keyboard right over here, once you hook this up to your iPad, the iPad apps go through the speakers on this one. This one, it doesn't go through the speakers. The first one, it goes through the speakers. This is weird. First one, the iPad app actually goes through the speakers. But one thing about all of them, there's no way to shut off the local. And I emailed the companies. I said, how come you can't shut off the local? So you either have to turn the volume down or set the iPad as external. This one, it doesn't go through the speakers, so you can just turn the volume down. This one, it's either turn the volume down on here or set the local on the iPad, as external. This one over here, it doesn't go through the speakers, surprisingly. But I just use it with the iPad and it works flawlessly. So I don't use the sounds on the keyboards itself, honestly. I buy these for portability, but I don't use the sounds of the keyboards at all. Not for the gigs. I use the sound of the iPad, which is the Ravenscroft app, or the iGrand piano, or the Korg apps. So the sounds is coming from the app, and then I have a Bluetooth speaker I can plug it in, and that's my portable system right there. So all these keyboards right here, as I said, they all fold up. And also on my electric bike, they all fit perfectly, but one by one. So I can fold it up and put it on the back of my electric bike and just ride to my gig. And I have a portable stand and a seat and my amplifier. So the main thing about it is just to be portable. So as of this one is like the best. This one's the best. This one's like the second best. I still love this one. This one is definitely reliable when it comes to like MIDI. And you know, it's really, really cool. It's really cool. So now I'm going to tell you the prices of all of them. So this one right here, I got this for $180. That's how much I got this one for. And when they first come out, it's just basically, it was basically like this, just a portable fold-up keyboard with no supports to lock it in. This one over here, I got this for $250. Right here. I'm sorry. I got this for $200. I got this for $200. So $180, $200. Right here. The next one up there, I got this one for $275. Yeah, $275 I got this one for. And I was so excited about it that I had to get it. $275 for this one. And you're not going to believe it. The last one, I got it the last day of NAMM 2024. And I already did a video on them. So I did a video on all of these, so you can go back and see them. But this one, this one I got for $130. And it's a fully weighted keyboard. Fully weighted piano. It sounds really nice. Let me see how far I can reach up to. Can reach up to that far, and then if I go to the other side, let's see how far I can reach up to. Now, there's supposed to be dampers ringing on that side. Let's see on this one. Yeah. The dampers are ringing on that side. Okay, on this is nah. So, you know, I give credit to all the companies that make these, which is really cool. And the portability. And so this is your decision of how basically you want your portable piano. Here's the demo of the V-Top. Okay, here's the demo of the E-Star. I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't heard these demos in a full length. Also remember, if I turn this off, turn back on the lights, you can actually see. No, you can't. That's weird. I thought you could. Okay, that's another flaw. Oh, right here. I'm sorry. So it shows you how to play whatever. Okay. One of these days I'll put the full demos on the page. The Cosane, here's the demo of that. Absolutely love the piano sound. Now what surprised me about this demo is coming up in the next couple measures. It actually has a really nice demo. Another name for this piano, not just Cosane, is also Finger Dance. And I forgot the other name. There's a parent company that makes this. And I forgot their name, but let's see if I can leave it in the description below. Bora. It's called Bora Pianos. That's what it is. So I don't have to leave it in the description below. Very nice demo. And also this right over here, it doesn't actually say demo, but what it does for the songs, I think, oh, demo's right here. So maybe if I press this and one of these, let's see. So I have to press the, oh, that's right. I have to press like one of these and press start. I don't know if that's the first demo, but that's one of them. So my next thing to do is that I want to take this keyboard fully apart and see if I could alter it and edit it. I took all of these apart and to see what I could do to alternate it and edit it. And honestly, you really can't do nothing else with it. So I want to see what I can do with that because that's a weighted keyboard. So make the action a little heavier if I have to. Let's see what happens if I go. See, there's many different demos, so I'm going to press this one right here. And it has cornball sounds, you know, cheesy cornball sounds. A lot of these do. Honestly, this one kind of sounds better. But as I said, I don't use them. Let's push this one right here. There you go. Okay, sorry I had to do that, but that's how I had to press the demo. But yeah, they all have cornball, cheesy sounds that sounds like a video game. But gonna be honest with you, I don't use the sounds on here. I use the sounds on my iPad. Okay, so last but not least, let me tell you about this little keyboard right over here. This has 49 touch-sensitive keys. It has 200 voices. It has 120 rhythms, 100 songs. Your numeric keypad, sustain, transpose, octave, and tempo. Over here you have the registration memory and the OS, which is basically your one-touch setting. And over here you have your arranger features, plus your metronome. This little thing is basically a miniature arranger keyboard. It has very good sound. For a little 49 key keyboard, this can actually fit if you sit at the window seat, not the emergency exit, but if you sit at the window seat of the airplane, you can actually fit this on the side, or you can fit it underneath your seat. I use this for my MPC Live, which is you know, part of my studio rig. So I carry my MPC Live out, my Akai, and I use this, and it's a full 49 key, touch sensitive. really good. So you have built-in rhythms on here, which you can use. It's pretty decent, you know. Put the chords on and any change chords if you wanted to. Minor chords of a seventh, which is really good. Variation and ending. Filler. Ending. Pretty cool. It also has a USB audio and MIDI interface, so you can use this as speakers for your computer. 16-track multi-timbal. Also has 64-note polyphony, which is really neat. And so I consider this as basically a travel keyboard. These are more pianos because they're 88 keys, but I consider this as a travel series, which is really neat. So I just wanted to point that out to you. You won't be able to find it in the US right now, so that's the only thing about it, especially for the price that I told you. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Please do me a favor, click like, subscribe, follow me on everything. You guys have been very, very good on my channel, and please let's make this channel grow. If you guys can leave a, I think what I call it, a slap chap or a donation, you can actually leave it below. And I think that'll be good. You know, the donation is just basically to support the channel. If you want me to get more keyboards to review them, I could get them for you and then review them so you don't have to get them. That's basically it. And I could give you my honest opinion about all of them. Thank you so much, everybody.